I represent a country known as the mother of all democracies. India has entered its 75th year of independence but had democratic traditions for thousands of years. Our diversity is a symbol of our strong democracy, where dozens of languages and hundreds of dialects are examples of vibrant democracy. Quote unquote, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi.
Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Shri T.V. Radhakrishnan, former Chief Justice, Commodore G.A. Selvan, Command Education and Welfare Officer and Vice Chairman NCS Kochi, Commander Ravi Mishra, Senior Staff Officer, Education HQSNC and Director NCS Kochi, Principal, Vice Principals, Headmistress, teachers and staff of NCS Kochi, Executive Board members, student delegates of NCSK MUN 2021 chapter, teachers in charge, and my fellow mates. Warm greetings to all of you.
I, Steve Wins,
And I, Shreya Nair,
will be your masters of ceremony for today. Welcome to the inaugural ceremony of NCSK MUN 2021. In today's era of globalization, augmenting skills of expository persuasiveness, debating and negotiating have become obligatory on the part of educational institutions to provide a plethora of opportunities to the youth to cultivate and nourish ingenuity, leadership skills, mental agility, confidence, and commitment in the young generation. We, the Secretariat members of NCSK MUN, are proud to host this prestigious event.
let us begin the day's event with a visual presentation on our school. Symbolizes knowledge and divinity. It not only dispels darkness but also illuminates our souls. I request our esteemed chief guest to kindle the auspicious lamp to embark on today's proceedings. We request the director, principal, vice principal academics, and the secretary general to join the chief guest.
कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः 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 शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय।
Thank you, sir.
Let us begin this auspicious event by seeking the blessings of the Almighty.
सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
May I now request Dr. Nelly Paul Varghese, Principal, NCS Kochi, to accord a formal welcome to the assemblage.
Don't be pushed around by the fears in your mind. Be led by the dreams in your heart. Caught, uncaught. Roy T. Bennett. A warm and graceful good morning, galaxy of intellectuals, invited guests, dignitaries on the dais, faculty members, beloved parents, and all the young delegates. I'm extremely overwhelmed to address you all on the auspicious occasion. Navy Children's School Kochi considers as its endeavor to impart holistic education by inculcating 21st century skills towards global citizenship. I feel immense pleasure in welcoming our most honorable chief guest, Justice Dr. T.B. Radhakrishnan, at this special juncture. We are indeed fortunate to have a scholar like Sir to grace the occasion and to ignite the light of success. Justice Radhakrishnan is one of the most celebrated and well-respected legal intellectuals of the country. With numerous credentials and accomplishments to his name, Sir has held countless prestigious positions in his long and impressive tenure. Sir has also been the Chief Justice of 5 different states in the country. It's indeed a prodigious honor and privilege for all of us to be in the presence of such an august personality. We all are very keen to hear from you, sir, about your journey and the success mantra. Thank you for taking out time for all of us, sir. I'm extremely gratified to welcome Commodore G.A. Selvam, Vice Chairman NCS Kochi and Command Education Officer, Southern Naval Command. whose relentless guidance in spearheading this institution has been one of our greatest strengths. Sir, I welcome you to this solemn occasion. Let me welcome Commander Ravi Misra, Senior Staff Officer Education and Director NCS Kochi Southern Naval Command, to this inaugural ceremony. As a stalwart officer and a staunch supporter of all our activities, it's indeed our privilege to have you with us today, sir. I'm so delighted to introduce the guest of honor, Mr. Mudit Pathak, world record holder, the youngest in the world to be awarded and recognized by the United Nations. He is India's youngest and only youth to be awarded with Karamveer Chakra, Global Young Leaders Fellowship, and Rex Karamveer Chakra Award, affiliated by United Nations Foundation. Mudit Pathak is a well-known youth icon. On behalf of NCS Kochi, I welcome you to this special junction. We are honored to have Ms. Metha Rupam, Indian Administrative Service, as the chief guest on the occasion of flagging off the commencement of committee sessions. She will be joining us on 7th October, that's tomorrow, by online platform. She is an alumnus of our school and is indeed the ideal person to inaugurate the event of debating and conferring. In her absentia, I welcome her to this propitious occasion. It's another proud moment to introduce our chief guest, Ms. Hamna Mariam Khan, Indian Foreign Service, a young diplomat of 2017 IFS batch. She joined IFS after clearing the civil service with 28th rank and is the first woman consul from Kerala to be appointed in Indian consulate in Jeddah. She'll be joining us for the valedictory section, which has been scheduled on 8th of October. In her absentia, I welcome her to this prestigious gathering. I would also like to extend a cordial welcome to all the parents who have continuously supported us in all our endeavors to spread the light of true knowledge. I extend my sincere welcome to all the academic and non-academic staff and students who are an integral part of the school and have always supported the vision and mission of the institution. I request you for your kind cooperation throughout the program in making it a grand success. It's a time to welcome our tomorrow's leaders to today's United Nations. Seeing all of you, here is a timely reminder that our institution exists to serve succeeding generations. I'm heartened to see such a large and enthusiastic group of young minds engaged in global issues. Young delegates, I feel proud to call you delegates. MUN is built on open minds and fresh ideas. It's a motivational experience. It's rewarding to pretend being a world leader, solving the world's most important problems in 48 hours or less. No doubt, it will activate your imagination and creativity. Dear children, you are about to embark on a life-challenging journey that will help you to develop confidence in leading others and a stronger awareness of global issues. MUN is a valuable experience that can help you get into college, find your first job, and become inspired to change the world. We live in a world that is being reordered in every aspect, politically, economically, security-wise, business-wise, socially, technologically, and ecologically. It will be a world of complexities and extreme competition where there will be battles for dominance and survival. Be well informed, but be positive as you view the new world unfolding before your eyes. At this model event, think positively without prejudice. Think like experts and act like pioneers and innovators. The entire concept of MUN revolves around debates and public speaking. You need to be able to maintain a stance and defend it confidently and efficiently. Throughout the conference, there are multiple speeches that a delegate has to give, some of them refuting an argument made by an opposing delegate and others to defend their own opinions. MUN teaches you how to give an impactful speech with a high degree of confidence to solve a global issue through research, drafting, lobbying, and debate to pass a suitable resolution. NCS Kochi is eagerly waiting to unfold its wings and help you navigate through your intrinsic talents and ingrained aptitudes. MUN can seem intimidating and confusing at first, but a group of erudite scholars here to help you traverse through its intricacies. Dear students, this is a window of opportunity. Don't pull down the shade. This is your good time to prepare yourself, motivate your research aptitude, enhance your problem-solving skills, thereby enhancing your capabilities to become a global citizen. Let me conclude with one point. Children, never let a serious crisis go to waste. Be the harbinger of change that the world is waiting to transform. To quote Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi's words in his recent UN address, the world will have to accept that any change in the global environment first begins with the self. Once again, I would like to extend a hearty welcome to the distinguished guest, Justice Dr. Tilvi Radhakrishnan, to this momentous occasion. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for those heartfelt words. No doubt, all of you are aware of the sheer amount of diversity that is associated with the United Nations. Diversity is one of the United Nations' most scintillating and compelling factors. This is something we wish to channel as well, to bring to the forefront the ideals of unity in diversity. The program we have now builds upon this adage. 7 continents, numerous countries, a plethora of languages, cultures, and ethnicities. 1 MUN. This MUN where we bring together our differences to find within ourselves similarities and a sense of fraternity.
Indian culture is one of the most ancient cultures present in the world. The country is quite diverse and is home to several communities, each of whom has their own culture and traditions. It is this combination of various splendid cultures that make India one of a kind.
वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, ऐ वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूं जहाँ मैं याद रहे तू, मैं जहाँ रहूं जहाँ मैं याद रहे तू, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन, ऐ वतन मेरे वतन। तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से, तू ही मेरी मंजिल है पहचान तुझी से। पहुंचूं मैं जहां भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू, पहुंचूं मैं जहां भी मेरी बुनियाद रहे तू। वतन वतन मेरे आबाद रहे तू, मैं जहां रहूं जहां मैं याद रहे तू। वतन
Culture, still unity in diversity, because we are many in body but one in mind. Yes, we are Indians.
The Republic of Korea, also known as South Korea, along with North Korea, was made a part of United Nations in 1991.
想到你我就甚至只会泪眼流。
Now, let's talk about Spain, a country on Europe's Iberian Peninsula, which is also home to 17 autonomous regions with diverse cultures and geography. Spain was elected as a member of the UN on 14 December 1995 and has also been elected as a member of Security Council for 5 terms.
Spain is famous around the world for flamenco music and dance, bullfights, fantastic beaches, and lots of sunshine.
In the west of Valencia is the world-renowned tomato flinging festival.
He removido cielo y tierra y no te encontré. Y llegas hoy tan de repente y da sentido a toda mi vida.
To share in something extraordinary, you have to go somewhere extraordinary. Where life evolved on a different path and filled the land with more endemic wildlife than any other country on the planet. A place where life exists, free, unique, and truly wild. Your world will never feel the same again.
In the sizzling deserts of Africa, west of the Saudi Peninsula, lies the incredible land of Egypt. Nowhere in the world is quite like Egypt. From the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx, the fertile banks of River Nile, modern Egyptian cuisine too is a reflection of the old and new influences. The Egyptian cuisine is an amalgamation of diverse influences that have shaped Egypt throughout its history. Tea is legendary in Egypt. Egyptians love sipping tea, cold or hot, sitting in cafes and restaurants while watching a soccer match. Egyptians are fond of their tea, not just for the drink, it is a custom which they adopted from the Arabians.
Argentina is a country in South America that borders the southern Atlantic Ocean. Known for its spectacular landscape and unique traditions, the stories of this nation spread far and wide. Buenos Aires, the capital city, is a very popular destination that is home to tourists across the world. The Gauchos, the Patagonia, the dance form tango is a partner dance and social art form that outstands in the cultural contributions of Argentina.
Apart from all of this, Argentina is famous for its football tales. Football is the most popular sport in Argentina. It is also the part of the country's vast culture. In Argentina, the streets are decorated in the colors of their national flag, along with the pictures of their most talented football players.
The six countries, India, Egypt, Australia, Spain, Argentina, and South Korea, and their rich and diverse cultures are proof of how divided and isolated we'd be if not for the intervention of an independent yet connecting force like that of the United Nations. Every day we are reminded of the importance of global peace. Simultaneously, we must remember what the failure of the League of Nations brought us. The significance of United Nations remain ever increasing in the present and will continue to do so in the future. I will conclude by leaving the wise words of Dag Hammarskjöld. The United Nations was not created to bring humanity to heaven, but to save it from hell. Thank you.
Has there ever been such a jubilant display of diversity before? We hope you all enjoyed yourselves and are excited for the days to come. On this momentous occasion, it is our proud privilege to have amongst us Sri Totatil B. Radhakrishnan, former Chief Justice, as the chief guest for the day. A renowned motivator and facilitator, he stands tall amongst everyone present here. Sir, we are immensely honored by your gracious presence. Your aura has lent a unique charm to this occasion. Now, let me welcome Ms. Elsie Babu, Vice Principal Academics, for the formal introduction of the Chief Guest.
Three-day erudite conclave to generate interest in young minds to be global citizens of tomorrow has been launched today. Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Sri Totatil B. Radhakrishnan, Commander J.V. Misra, SSO Education, Southern Naval Command and Director, Navy Children's School, Kochi, enthusiastic delegates, staff and students of Navy Children's School, Kochi. A warm good morning to one and all. Preparing and participating in an MUN helps students to develop leadership skills, research, writing skills, public speaking, analytical ability, and problem-solving skills. Of course, Model United Nations in schools will develop resolutions to assign tasks and would help the delegates to express their view in a self-assured manner. It inculcates skills of negotiation and conflict resolution in children. The MUN is an ideal place to hone analytical skills, as in a simulated environment. You will be challenged and required to solve the task after examining the concerns of the other countries, past precedents, and potential solutions to come up with an acceptable resolution. The independence, challenges, and teamwork will surely serve to enhance your leadership skills as you take charge as a representative of a real world country. To raise the curtain of this great event, the chief guest in our midst today is none other than the former Chief Justice Totatil B. Radhakrishnan. Being born in a legal family, he also followed in the footsteps of his parents. After the completion of LLB,
He enrolled as an advocate in December 1983. He was appointed as a permanent judge of Kerala High Court on 14th of October 2004. Sir has worked in 5 different states in India, and that too as Chief Justice in the states of Chhattisgarh, Hyderabad, Telangana, and also in Calcutta High Court. Now, the pages of the judicial book of Telangana begins with his name, and he has a special place in the hearts of the legal fraternity. As the Chief Justice, he had accorded top priority to preservation of ecology, prevention of pollution, conservation of wildlife, and curbing human trafficking. Sir also exhorted the law students to feel the pulse of the people to deliver fair justice. Justice Radhakrishnan abides by the creed that the ultimate power is we, the people. People are the real masters and has always advocated for the need to humanize the thoughts in youngsters. Now, let me recall a few words from Sir's heart-touching speech on his retirement on 28th of April 2021. The confidence-building mechanism through the justice delivery system necessarily requires not merely high learning competencies and skills, but adherence to eternal human values, which will guide and groom the true link between thoughts, words, and deeds. I am sure the youngsters will grow at greater heights as the caravan moves on. It is indeed a rare privilege and honor to be in the presence of such a decorous and dignified personality. Dear audience, let me take this opportunity to extend a most hearty welcome to the scholarly philosopher and former Chief Justice to this inaugural ceremony of Navy Children's School, Kochi, Model United Nations 2021. Now, welcoming Chief Justice Thottathil B. Radhakrishnan for the inaugural address, followed by the inauguration of NCSK MUN 2021. Thank you.
Very good morning to one and all. The leading personalities from the Southern Naval Command, including the director of the school who is present here, the principal, vice principal, other faculty members of the school, the non-teaching staff of the school, the faculty members and supporting groups from the different schools. I think about 17 schools or so are participating. One good fortune for me is that many of those schools are personally, intimately known to me, even the one in Vizag. I've gone there. Well, my beloved students, or I would call you my younger brothers and sisters, rather than students, because I am also a student even now. That should make all the difference in your sojourn the way forward. Well, I also know that the parents of many of the participants would be present online. they'll be viewing this program. The leaders of different schools, many others who are interested in the educational mechanism, obviously are online. Thank you for joining me and lending your ears to me the way you can through this online mechanism. I say this because days when I had been into a little bit of teaching also, which is part of my life, being a resource person for different schools where we are taught, we the judges or the so-called judges are taught, the lawyers are taught or trained. I will use all those terms when I proceed, or given the opportunity to blossom. These are the three types. Everywhere I have found that this online offline business which we have now has always been a challenge for me. It was one of the first principles I had been always insisting when, as a practitioner in a court or elsewhere talking to somebody or hearing somebody, I used to say, look into the eyes and speak straight. I don't know how I would do it in an online mechanism. Look straight into the eyes and speak directly to the face. Well, that's the greatest challenge that I wouldn't call COVID a pandemic at all, in the sense that I would conceive a pandemic. But for COVID, we would not have reached where we are now. We have sacrificed a lot. The world has sacrificed a lot. Lives have been lost. Our finances have come down. But I think the global scenario, including the leadership that we in India have given through the vaccination process, through the generation of scientific methodology to fight COVID, we have shown the way that we will stand up. And this is what I want my young brothers and sisters who wish to be part of this model UN, MUN, to do. I understand this MUN is a concept where you have a model, like you have a model of a ship, you have a model of a crane, you have a model of a tank, you have a model of a car. Likewise, you have a model of a UN, of the United Nations, where you say, deliberate and show how it would be. I remember those days when my teachers used to ask me, Radhakrishnan, why don't you speak or write on something like what I would do if I were the Prime Minister of India. Likewise, now you are trying to say you are participating in a model UN, MUN. But I beseech you, my young ones, give a different meaning, give a different thought, give a different shade, give a different angle to the word model. You should be the model for the United Nations, not that you become a model of the United Nations. You will be treated as a model by the United Nations. All those who participate in the United Nations will take inputs from what you actually deliberate in these sort of forums or fora, and then ultimately give it to the international domain, where they will actually have to digest it appropriately to be utilized for the common good of the world. Having said that, let me tell you a small example. Well, you have heard about the Indian Constitution. The Indian Constitution has various areas, but there are certain areas which are not much deliberated upon. One is the directive principles of state policy, which I think is a cardinal thing or principle which we need to think of and apply if the world has to improve, if India has to improve. Let me tell you, my dear children, directive principles of state policy permeates and percolates into the masterly craftsmanship of great people who are involved in drafting the Constitution. You will find principles which are there for the common good. I will not tell you even one principle there, because you are all people who can read and write in different languages. Learn and understand. You may get a more glorious view than what I have when I stand before you. Let me ask you one small question. I'm sure that many of you would have heard of the cellular jails of Andamans. Some of you would have seen that, those cellular jails. I visited the cellular jails. There are cellular jails where you have solitary confinement, there's one person in a room. Some, very rarely, two are put in a room. Very rare, very rare. If you go through the historical documents relating to the Andaman cellular jails. But do you know that all those inmates of the cellular jails of Andamans carried a weapon? Everyone, I'm sure Commodore Ravi Mishra or anybody for that matter on duty would not have prohibited them from carrying their weapon. The most powerful weapon that every one of them, each one of them carried with them. No power on earth could prevent it. No power under any constitution can prevent it. No United Nations could have prevented it. They had a wonderful weapon which each of them carried. That is nothing but every individual's mind, the power to think. This mind is where the whole exercise happens. It is that mind that empowers. It is that mind that gives you the power to think, the right to think, the opportunity to think, the unbridled power to think. No constitution can tell you that you cannot think this way. You can think. Restriction can be only on the freedom of speech and expression, but not on the freedom to think. Because the thought is andaryatmi. It is within you. It is your own process. Like your principal, Madam Principal, had sounded a little during the welcome speech. You have to control sometimes. That's a different issue. Doesn't mean that you will have to speak out whatever you think. No, that is the restriction. But the power to think, unless you exercise your power to think, you have a problem. You will not grow. The system will not grow. There will be no United Nations growing for the better of the people. Let me tell you, look at the nature as a great teacher. Yesterday, I happened to write to one of my friends. When he sent me a small clip, I wrote back and I said, nature is the greatest teacher. If you don't understand that teacher as the greatest teacher, you will be failing in your duty as a possible student. Forget about whether you are a true student. Take your own self and find out your own physical self. Forget about your other emotional status, your mental status, etc. My dear young friends, I'm standing here and talking. This human body has only one mouth. It has only one tongue. But this body is endowed with 2 ears. If my hair was cropped a little more, you would say it is elephantine. One nose with 2 nostrils joining somewhere up near the nasal cavity. 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs. Just apply the doctrine of proportionality, you will find that the organ which should be least used is that singular fellow called mouth. And the singular organ which is inside it, which is called your tongue. Well, there is again Mother Nature, which is also the mother turning to be the teacher, telling you this tongue is put within a fence of 32 thorny teeth. Why? 32 teeth, fence. The tongue is fenced. It is kept fenced. You should know when to open up, when to speak. Otherwise, sometimes your fence itself will give you a small prick. Why I am telling all this is, your thought process is what is going to be tomorrow. Your thought process is going to change the world. The one great problem which I feel and I've seen and I've really put it strongly to my next generations, even in the field of law, be they the judges, be they the lawyers, be they the law students. I'm sure no teacher here is going to cut me short if I say There is a trend in modern educational system where the student goes to the largest net possible in the world, that is the internet, and then download, cut, paste. Nothing goes into the net where it should really go. And assume one day will come where computers will have what is called put in these answer sheets and the computer will give the marks. So the teacher gets ultimately excluded. When we are talking of arena of artificial intelligence being grown in different areas, intelligence management is not artificially possible. All that can be done is you can intelligently utilize the machines to manipulate your activity to some extent which may be conducive to better progress of your emotional and mental activity in the progress of the nation or any institution for that matter. This is how AI technology grows. Carry certain fundamental memories with me. I was introduced today here before you as having demitted office by the last of April 2021. I have a lot of friends. One gentleman asked me, why don't you start writing your life history? Then he said, with all the experience that you have gathered, you will have a lot to write. That is all like telling Hanuman to jump to Sri Lanka, fanning up, come on boy, come on boy. But then I said, there's a problem with me. Well, I had a maternal grandmother, my mother's mother, very elderly, whom I think I lost when I was in the first standard or second standard. But I am sure that I was a very naughty, nutty fellow by that time. Because she, I remember, have said that I do not know what this fellow will ultimately become. In our mother tongue, she said, at the end of the day, I do not know what this fellow will ultimately become. I don't know whether all of you follow Malayalam, but I am sure that many of you follow. I'll say, even Enda Idirumo Indo. That is what she told my mother. And those days also I was good at eavesdropping, and therefore I overheard the grandmother tell my mother about this. So this somehow came as a flash to my mind when my friend told me to write my life history. I said, I can't write my life history until the end comes. Because if I were to live up to the expectations of my parents and my ancestors and my people, and the great nation which has fed and brought me, gave me the air to breathe, gave me the water to drink, then I should live up to the expectations till my last breath. So my life history can be written by me only after my life is over. That friend didn't talk to me for about 3 weeks or so. Then one day fortunately he didn't show the courage to come to my house because of the COVID threat. He called me one day and he said, why are you trying to scratch at me? I said, I didn't try to scratch at you. I'm scratching at my soul. I'm scratching at my conscience. I'm scratching into myself to find out whether I'm living up to the aspirations of my parents, of my well-wishers, of my great-grandparents, of my ancestors, of my gurus, of my teachers, of this great nation, of the great parampara, which is called the civilized sector of humanity. Eternal human values, which was mentioned by the Madam Vice Principal while introducing me, is a core theme of human sustenance. If you have eternal values with you, if you have heard and read Gandhiji's Talisman, where he says, you see a person, and if that person will be benefited by something that you are going to do, please do. And if that poor person is not going to be benefited by what you're going to do, please don't do that. This is Gandhiji's talisman. You try the Panchasheel, you read the Panchasheel, which India tried to do with China at one point of time. I'm not on what came out of it, but I am on the tattvas. I'm on the principles. The principles were principles of sacrifice, the principles of giving up, the principles of surrender, the principles of whatever you have, whether it is health, wealth, whatever, utilize for the common good, utilize the nation for the common good, utilize the world for the common good. Why is it that you have environmental challenges? Why is it that you have problems with the ozone layer? Why? You are not prepared to give up anything. I think United Nations will deliberate and are deliberating and will continue to deliberate with leaders like you, with motivators like you who are participating here today. That is why I said, you be the model for the United Nations. Don't simply hold to be a model United Nations. I'm sure that you have got what I said. Try to wipe the tears. Try to wipe the sweat. Try to give a helping hand. Once you individualize it, you have a global image, you have global impression, you have global understanding, but work locally, perform locally, and ultimately this will become a global performance when all the entire world will stand hand in hand. United we stand, divided we fail and fall. I'm sure that this program will go miles and miles in leading you all to be the leaders, not merely of tomorrow, but even of today, to show institutions of governance at the international levels, policy makers at international levels, persuading institutions at international level to be institutions of surrender to the common good. Thank you all. I hereby declare the Navy Children's School Kochi Model United Nations 2021 open with the pranams and namaskars to all of you. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for officially inaugurating this year's NCSK MUN conference.
We feel honored to have with us the guest of honor, Mr. Mudit Pathak, Karmavir Chakra Award. Being nominated for the prestigious Padma Shri Award in 2021, Mr. Pathak's distinguished work in numerous capacities places him on a high pedestal among Indian youth.
Mudit Pathak is the first and only Indian to be awarded the Rex Karmavir Chakra by the United Nations. He is a world record holder and someone every Indian youth can look up to. It is our honor to invite Mr. Mudit Pathak to felicitate NCSK MUN.
Hello, am I audible and visible? Oh, okay. So first of all, namaste to everyone present here, honorable chief guests, honorable dignitaries present in the podium, and all the young change makers. So why I'm saying young change maker, the reason I'll be telling in the prior half of the talk, but yeah, young change makers. And this reminds me of a quote by Mr. Mahatma Gandhi, sir, the father of the nation: bring the change in yourself first so that you can bring the change in this world. And I feel that today you all who are participating in this beautiful and grand MUN and the whole secretariat team, you are the change, right? Because you have brought a change in yourself by initiating something which is to the fact very renowned, and to the fact very knowledgeable at large. Because when I say MUN, so that reminds me of my class 5th. So currently I am in 3rd year of my college from Shahid Bhagat Singh Delhi University. And way back when I was in class 5th, I was introduced to this beautiful atmosphere, beautiful bunch of young enthusiast in an MUN by the name of DPS Faridabad. So an MUN in DPS Faridabad, it was my first ever MUN. And let me tell you very frankly, I was very nervous. I have done, like, I did all of my research at that time, which was required, but I didn't spoke a single word in the 3-day MUN conference. My committee was UNGA and my country was Finland, and I didn't spoke anything, and the topic was cyber crime. Right, I didn't spoke anything. I was way worried. I was way deteriorated to the fact that I was coming from a very low grade district of Uttar Pradesh by the name of Pilibhit. And when I saw people in Delhi having lots of gadgets, having lots of confidence, and that too speaking very fluent English, very good and very appropriate words, and I was way feeling very degraded. But then I realized that okay, that was my first MUN. Now then the journey was obviously started from the first MUN. Till date, I have completed 5 to 6 MUNs. Haven't won any MUN, but yes, MUN has been a very crucial aspect of my life before lockdown and in the lockdown itself. So MUN has taught me very crucial things. Self-confidence. MUN has obviously taught me how to speak, right? How to present yourself, how to present yourself randomly. Because in MUN, when you do your GSL, when you do your mod caucuses and unmod caucuses, you need to prepare things on the spot, right? You need to research from the past, but present those research in a very beautiful manner and with the cherry in the cake in the present scenario over the speech. And that is the beauty, right? You need not to mug up all the things from your home and then speak up, but you need to analyze those things, analyze the alliance, analyze the your oppositions, and then make collaboration, creating an impact. And that's the beauty. And then at the end of the MUN, creating a draft resolution which gets the solutions on the platform and bringing alliance with you, and then voting. So it's a whole bunch of I will saying learning come fun activity. MUN is obviously a learning, but obviously learning with fun. And that reminds me of my journey in the lockdown itself. When the lockdown started, so I was not really interested in doing MUNs, online MUNs basically, but accidentally I got an invitation from Individual Diplomatic Summit, IDS, and they invited me for the chief guest. And then I realized that what have I done to be invited as a chief guest or as a guest of honor. And that brings me back to my class 12. So I won't be telling you about my awards, my glories, because all of those are there on the Google. You can Google it up anytime. You will be getting all of those things. Plus the honorable host have obviously told to all of you about some of my awards. So see, awards are not the wow factor, right? Awards are definitely part of your life. You achieve them because you have done things. But more than awards, your journey, your work, your change making abilities are there, which is to be appreciated, which is to be enjoyed. Because we, in the search of awards, in the search of glory, in the search of those bright shiny world, we forget to enjoy our journey. We forget to learn from our failures. Learning from the failures was one of my very happiest movements, right? If I tell you frankly, from my personal journey, each day I fail every day because I plan all of my schedule, and from those planning I couldn't complete 50% of those things. And I feel proud because what I am failing today, I will definitely improve the next day, right? Be the best version of myself from 0 to 0.005%. Improving every day is what makes you an individual. And when I say making you an individual, so that means the real you, the real me, right? All of the 165 people present over here, let me tell you, you don't need to compete with anyone else, right? Don't compete with delegate of China, delegate of India, or don't compete with your friend, your neighbor, your enemy. No, never compete with anyone. Compete with yourself. When you compete with yourself, you always learn, you always win, and you always explore. More than winning, learning and exploring is something which will be helping you in your life, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone has to win in their individual's life, right? Everyone will be definitely winning in, because all of you or all of us have one USP of ours. We all have our one USP, and that USP is individuality of ours, right? If you just work on your USP, right? Work on your USP, polish your USP each day. So trust me, you are going to be a trendsetter. Like the host mentioned, world record, which is always which is a dream of everyone to achieve a world record someday or the other. So that world record is a proof that yes, polishing your USP can help you attain that level in which you are going to inspire many people. You are going to motivate many people. You are going to be a trendsetter. You are going to be a guider for many. And that's the beauty, right? We say that India is a developing country, and in India, youths are the pillars of the country. And that's true. You all are the pillars of the country, and not for tomorrow, but for today as well. If you work on your USPs today, either you be in your class 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, age is just a number. Start working from right now, right here at this movement. Don't wait for the right time, because the right time never comes, right? That's a very good saying and very true saying. Just work on your USPs now and see the result after. Maybe someone can achieve your what you want in 10 days, someone can achieve in 1 week, 1 year, 1 month. That depends. Time depends, but your quality, your quantity, and your enthusiasm, your consistency matters a lot, right? Because when you are preparing for this MUN, like all the people, those who are involved in preparing and being the masterminds behind this MUN, it must have taken some time, some labor, some team efforts, right? Some planning, some execution. And that is the exact thing which we need in our life. Proper planning and then executing those things. And then test trial is obviously one option to it. But more than test trial, when you execute, so see, Mark Zuckerberg in one of his interviews clearly quoted that ideas didn't come into the practical reality when you execute them, right? And that's the perfect match, because you plan things accordingly in your mind, but when you put them on the paper or put them on the plate, it doesn't come out to be the exact thing you planned. Either it could be more than what you planned, or it could be something less which you planned, and that is perfectly fine, right? It is perfectly fine. And what I feel is that when I see my journey till date, obviously it's not so grand because I am also 20 years old till date. So when I see my journey, so I feel that what I did was just learned, just explored, just learned from my failures, right? I got various failures. I am also the survivor or the warrior of depression in my class 12 due to various XYZ reasons, right? And that was also one of my not failure, but one of the very beautiful phase of my life, where I introspected myself, where I learned, or where I introspected who the real me was, who the real Mudit was. Then coming out of that phase and doing things not for myself, right? I am a social entrepreneur. I have 3 organizations which work for society: women empowerment, artist empowerment, and youth empowerment, right? I work with Government of India, I work with United Nations, and I also have an event management company. And all I do is I work with youths, for the youth, by the youth. That's the clear idea. And I work on the vision of Bill Drayton, sir, the founder of Ashoka organization and the godfather of social entrepreneurship. he says everyone is a change maker. And that's why I called all of you as a young change maker, because he says everyone is a change maker. It's just that you need to realize your change making abilities. Once you realize your change making abilities, either you are a student or you are an entrepreneur, you are a businessman, you are a professional, a teacher, you are whosoever you are, in whatever fields you are a change maker. You just need to realize your abilities and then work on that abilities, and you can bring the change in any scenario. Whether you be a rickshaw puller, you can even bring the change while being a rickshaw puller. You can see the examples. There are various examples, right? Various examples of activists, various examples of like-minded people, various examples. Dashrath Manji sir is the biggest example, being from the rat eaters community, which we say Musahari in Hindi, right? And we have tremendous amount of examples in India itself, living examples, the legends who are trying to bring the change while being the change. So I guess with this, I will definitely hand over the podium again to the host, and thank you for hosting me, inviting me to this grand occasion. It feels really honored to be present with tremendous guests and respected jury members and all the respected teachers. And just to give you an insight, I planned in my initial schooling in my class till my class 5th 6th that I also wanted to be in the army itself. I even gave the exams of Ghoda Khal school. I belong from UP, so Ghoda Khal is quite near to my place, so that was the one option which we opted. But accidentally I couldn't clear that Ghoda Khal entrance, and because of that I couldn't be admitted there. So no worries, I carried out my studies till my class 12th from the there Piliphi. And then after my class 12th, I even gave the entrance of CLAT, Common Law Admission Test, for the 5-year entrance, 5-year law program. And accidentally on all those 3 attempts, I again failed by one either 5 marks, 6 marks, or on a margin of 5-6 marks. I failed on the 3 attempts. So these are my bunch of failures which I'm carrying, right, and learning from these. So simultaneously you guys could have your bunch of failures and learn from them, achieve from them, and inspire yourself. Namaste and thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. No MUN conference is complete without its valued delegates. Here are some of our delegates sharing their thoughts and opinions and expectations about NCSK MUN.
Hi, I'm Gauri from Campaign School, Edapalli. I wish to convey that I'm looking forward to participating in NCSK MUN. This is my very first MUN, so I expect to perform my best, but above all, to make and cherish the experience. I believe this will be a fantastic learning experience altogether, and therefore, I'm very thrilled. Thank you and have a great day.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm from Nirmala Mata Central School, and my MUN experience so far has been great. The organizing committee has given us a WhatsApp group, a pretty detailed background guide, a training session, and they take their time to clear our doubts on the spot, and they've given us so much effort, and they've shown us they really care about this. And I'm really proud to be part of this committee and this delegation, and I'm sure that the MUN ahead would be great.
Hello, my name is Giovanni. I am in Class 7B studying at Global Public School and the delegate of Brazil in the UNGA committee of the MUNs. I am really looking forward to the MUNs. I feel like the fact that we give young children the chance to strengthen their speaking and researching skills at such a young age is really amazing. And the fact that we're discussing world problems for the betterment of the world is truly inspiring. I am a little bit nervous as being a first-timer, but I am way more excited than I am nervous, and I promise to give my all to the community. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sarabia Chaco Xavier. I am from Cambion. This is my first time to be a part of this year's MUN, but I am privileged to be a part of it. I am hoping to learn more from our experienced speakers who will be part of this year's MUN, and I hope that this will be a memorable, exciting experience for me and my companions who will be part of it. Thank you.
Hi all, I'm Greta Jimon from Nirmala Mata Central School. This is my first experience in MUN and I'm really excited to be a part of it. I hope it's going to be interesting and fun. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Navy Children's School, Kochi, for providing us this wonderful platform to showcase our talents. Thank you.
Good day to all. I'm Devnanda Anil of Campion School. It's my pleasure to be here with all the fresh minds and to earn an opportunity to interact with you. I am comfortable with the actions that will possess a great impact in my destiny, and this is one such comfort zone. Doing ample analysis and reaping to know more is just like scripting a journal with many things under your knowledge. It's my elation to be a part of this MUN, and I'm very excited as I'm waiting for the day to strike. I wish all my delegates a very happy MUNing. Thank you.
I'm Edwin Joseph Sunny of Nirmal Matha Central School, and I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to NCS Kochi for arranging an MUN amidst these challenging times. As young minds of the future, providing new perspectives and solutions for the big issues of our time. During the days leading up to the main event, NCS Kochi has always been there as a support, provided us with background guides and with orientations. I am absolutely certain that this event will be one to remember. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nitya. I'm from NCS Goa and I've been assigned the portfolio South Korea under the committee Disarmament and International Security Council. And it's my first ever MUN. I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. And over the past few days, we've just been getting familiar with what exactly MUN is and everything like that. And it's already been so amazing. Like, I've learned a lot of things. And considering that, I can barely imagine what's going to happen next. I already know it's going to be wonderful. And I really hope I can enhance my skills of public speaking, teamwork, leadership. In knowledge, of course, is a bonus. And it's going to be amazing. There's so many amazing people here. I'm glad to be one of them. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Hi all, I'm Michelle Godwin of Campion School. This is my first time being in MUN, so I'm really looking forward to have a great time, to meet a lot of people, to learn a lot, and of course to have a lot of debate. And I also wish each and every participant the very best.
Hello everyone, I'm Ayushi Karthik of Class 10 studying in Alpine Public School, Bangalore, Karnataka. I am a part of the Disarmament and International Security Committee and I hold the portfolio of the United States of America. My expectations from this month include an interactive session, fun debates and caucuses. I hope to improve my confidence skills and leadership skills. Also, my research and hope to widen my knowledge on the agendas. I also wish to learn the power of manipulation and negotiation through this event. Thank you.
I'm really excited about the various things that are in store for us in this year's MUN. The joy running through my veins is unforeseeable. I really hope that this becomes a great experience for all of us. With that, I wish each and every one of you the very best of luck. Thank you.
Good morning to all. I'm Abel from Campion School. I'm really excited to be a part of Navy Children's School Kochi Model United Nations 2021. This is my first experience with MUN. I'm sure that it will help me to think independently and is going to be a great experience for me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Rose Thompson. I'm 11th grader at Nirmal Matha Central School, Thrissur, Kerala. I will be representing the Republic of Korea in UNSC in NCSK MUN 2021. Firstly, I would like to thank Navy Children's School for providing us with this wonderful opportunity. I would also like to thank the organizers who have been so supportive and systematic all through our journey. I've been to a few MUNs. Before my first MUN, I was so confused and had no idea how the whole session was going to be, but everything went way smoother than I expected. I hope this MUN, just like the other MUNs, would be a booster to our debating, speaking and socializing skills. Looking forward to an exquisite experience in NCSK MUN 2021. Thank you.
Good evening to one and all.
I am Louis Bright of class 8 from Nirmala Mata Central School, East Fort, Thrissur. I am posting as a delegate of the People's Republic of China as a member of the United Nations General Assembly in the Model United Nations. I am really excited for this simulation of the United Nations, posing as a delegate of the People's Republic of China. I see this as an opportunity to discover new friends, realize my own strengths, and play as a team member. I am also incredibly nervous as this is my first time as a manna. I have no previous experience. These are my emotions leading up to the Model United Nations. Thank you.
Greetings to all. Myself, Nesa Susie Wilson, a student of Global Public School, Kochi, representing Vietnam in the United Nations General Assembly. Today's global challenges, be it climate change, poverty and inequality, or migration, are growing and they affect rich and poor countries alike. In NCSK-MUN, we hope for forward-looking priorities and resolutions for peace cooperations. Crisis management, emphasizing stronger cooperation to preserve our collective values and to make the world safer and more equitable. Good luck to all my fellow Manas.
Hi, I'm Sheetalji Chungat of Nirmala Mata Central School, Thrissur, the delegate representing Matthew Kuralnadan for the Kerala Legislative Assembly. I choose to participate in the NCSK MUN 2021 to experience the Model United Nations. It is my first time running and I'm exhilarated. I hope these 2 days be filled with fun and frolic and diplomatic debating. Thank you.
I now take this opportunity to welcome Commander Ravi Mishra, Director NCS Kochi, to the dais to felicitate the event.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I must express what I have learned from my superiors in the past, a very famous saying which is existing, that you get to know a person when he speaks. I was thrilled and I must say that I have no words to express my feelings when I was listening to the chief guest of today, Justice T.B.N. Radhakrishnan. As I have been given this opportunity to speak on this occasion, I would start with my feelings about the chief guest of the day, and then subsequently I will come over to the event which has been planned. In the initial preparation of this event, I was having a discussion with the core committee who is supposed to conduct this event. So I was told that this particular event, Model United Nations, is an opportunity for the students to actually hone their skills and develop their knowledge level at international level, and basically to develop the thought process and become a future ideal citizen of this country. So that was the thought process in which this particular event was conceptualized, and subsequently this particular event was planned. I was told that around 2-3 years back, this particular event was conducted in this school, and subsequently now again we are conducting this. During the course of discussion, we came to the conclusion that this particular event, we need to have the chief guest of such a high stature who can actually lead us from the front. And then we started searching, and I am really thankful to Honorable Judge Dr. Radhakrishnan that sir has accepted our request, and he was so humble. And in this, I must say, this pandemic situation which is existing, in that situation also, we took a liberty of requesting sir that if sir can personally come over to the school, because this particular event is online, but we took this liberty. And I'm really thankful to you, sir, that you accepted our invitation. When I was listening to Sir, what I realized that the three pillars of our democracy, that is executive, judiciary, and legislature, these three pillars, they are actually running this country. And when you see the judiciary is the guardian. Judiciary is the pillar which is actually observing how the country is running, how the executive is running, how are the laws which are being made by the legislature, are they within the constitutional framework or not? And parallelly, you must have seen in the past also that if executive is not able to take certain actions, certain decisions, which is required for the welfare of the common man, the last man in the society, you and me have seen how the judiciary is able to come up to the expectations of the last man of the society. And when I was listening to Sir, I realized that the depth of knowledge and the thought process and the human being, the gentleman which is inside the honorable judge, it gives me immense confidence as a citizen of Bharat that we are safe. Please understand, the armed forces, they are there to protect the boundary of this nation. But when we are inside this boundary, the well-being of the citizen is actually ensured by the close monitoring and by close, scrutiny of the affairs of the executive and legislature by the judiciary. And my respect for the judiciary has got enhanced today when I interact with the honorable judge. So thank you so much, sir. I'm really grateful to you, sir. From the bottom of my heart, I am saying, sir. Now, coming back to the event, this Model United Nations, I being an engineer, I am also a BTech and MTech and a naval officer. So certainly my stream was totally in technical field and I didn't had much of the knowledge of humanities stream. But slowly I am also learning in due course of time. And in this entire process of Model United Nations, what I have realized that at the international level or be it at the national level, the role and responsibility of the United Nations is immense. What the chief guest mentioned, that the common man, when we talk about, global citizenship, we talk about a concept of kutumb. This world we consider, the Indian culture considers that it is a kutumb. We don't believe in the boundaries of the nations, although we have got some 190 plus countries in the world, but still we believe that a human being who is there in any country for that matter has got equal rights as far as a human being is concerned. And believe you me, all of us know that the role and responsibility of the United Nations in ensuring that each and every individual of the world gets a decent life is noteworthy. Having said that, as the honorable judge has advised the students who are present as delegates, as already told, that 18 schools are participating, some 157 participants are there in this particular event. This Model United Nation, the Model United Nation event which you are conducting, as sir has already advised you, very, great advice which he has given you, that this MUN should actually become a model for the actual United Nations. So that is something, sir has already given you a challenge. So that should be the thought process. And I would like to add what sir has said, that in any teaching learning process, I would say that this particular event is also a learning process. A activity which is there. Instead of reading about United Nations, sitting in the classroom and getting a one-way lecture from the teacher, this is a role play which you are doing in this MUN. So when you are sitting here in this particular event, when you are actually participating in this event, you will be competing with each other. I fully agree and I fully acknowledge this fact that you are going to compete and there is a tendency to win over also. But mind you, you must learn from your peer. The participants who are there in this particular activity will be able to teach you, although they are competing with you. So, on one front, you should compete with each other, but on the other front, you please try to learn from the individuals who are participating. I must say that the organizing committee has done a great job. Till now, the event preparation which has been there, it is really satisfactory for the school, how the things are being conducted. And I'm sure that in future also, in these subsequent 3 days, 7th and 8th October also, we are going to have a smooth conduct of the event. I'm really glad that tomorrow the ex-student of this school, who is presently a serving IS officer in UP cadre, she is also going to grace the occasion online. And students, please remember, then when the senior people like Honorable Judge, the ex-student who is a IS officer, on the third day valedictory function, you are going to have an Indian Foreign Services officer, a serving diplomat in the Embassy of Jeddah. These people, when they are visiting your school, when they are interacting with you, it is a great opportunity for you to keep your eyes and ears open. As sir has told in his speech, that the human body is also telling you, giving you a lesson. What sir has mentioned, the same lesson was given to me when I joined as a naval officer in my first appointment in National Defence Academy. My superior officer, sir, that time he told me, ki, my dear command, that time Sub-Lieutenant Ravi Mishra, please remember that you have got only one mouth to speak, but you have got 2 eyes and 2 ears. So both the eyes you have to use to see, and both the ears you have to use to listen. And mouth is there, but 1/5. So 4/5 is only observing and listening, and 1/5 is there to speak. So that is something, a great message sir has given. So young boys and girls, I hope that you will learn from the experience of the Honorable Judge. And I'm equally motivated to see that the experience of the Honorable Judge on one side and the enthusiasm of Mr. Mudit Pathak on the other side has actually given a mix of the things to MUN. So that is what we want actually. The experience and the enthusiasm has to go hand in hand. The Josh of the youngsters should also be there, should also be visible. So thank you so much. And in the end, I would like to thank the principal, the vice principal, the organizing committee for organizing this wonderful event. And I'm sure NCS Kochi is going to do well in future also. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for coming for this event. And thank you so much to everybody who has coordinated this event. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir.
What commences now is 3 days of thought-provoking debates and discussions, allowing you to step into the shoes of world leaders and diplomats to handle issues of global importance. We aim to emulate the spirit of the United Nations the best we can. And to do so, we encourage you to put your best foot forward with this event. To enlighten us about the ideals of Navy Children's School Model United Nations 2021, I now invite Chinmay Pathak, Secretary General, NCSK MUN 2021, to take to the dais.
Dag Hammarskjöld once said that the United Nations was not created to take mankind to heaven, but to save it from hell. And these prophetic words have never rung truer to me than they do today. As mankind progresses and as we scale new heights, we also seem to be reaching deeper nadirs. Never before have we seen so many problems that are deserving of our fullest attention, that are as varied as they are demanding. The COVID pandemic, the energy crisis, the tumultuous economic situation, the advent of cryptocurrencies, the recent progress in private access to space and its resources, the information and digital media crisis, the recent takeover of Afghanistan by non-state actors, it is a crime to exclude some of them from the list.
It is in times like these that I feel thankful for the existence of the United Nations. This conference, to me, is part celebration and part mission, a celebration of the brilliance that is the youth of India. The median age of an Indian today is around 28.4 years, and the hope from this young blood is that it will lead India into a prosperous future. This hope is the soul of my mission, to do my part in helping my people achieve their maximum potential. The committees and the agendas we have selected for the young delegate demographic of this conference's delegations are designed to expose them to some of the major questions that diplomats around the world are asking right now. Over the course of 3 days, our leaders of tomorrow will look for solutions to problems that affect you and me, and as our guests would agree, everyone else at some level. The itinerary for this conference is as follows. At 9 a.m. tomorrow, we will have a small meeting where I'm pleased to inform you that we will be joined by Ms. Medha Rupam IAS. The committee sessions following that will be interspersed by breaks for high tea and lunch, and committee sessions will close at 5 p.m. We will meet again at 7 in the evening for the social event. On the 8th of October, we will start directly with committee sessions at 8 a.m. and wrap up by 3:30 in the afternoon, following which the valedictory function will begin at 4 p.m. For this, we will be joined by Ms. Hamna Mariam Khan, IFS. We have a packed schedule for the next 2 days. May the best diplomat win. Before I take my leave, I would like to put forth a word of appreciation for all the Undersecretary Generals, organizing committee members, school prefects, and school staff that have been working on making this conference a success. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Executive Board members for taking time before the conference to write background guides, conduct training sessions, and help all the delegates along the path of their preparation towards this conference. Thank you all for your patient listening, and happy Monday.
Thank you, Chinmay. Before we move on, I would like to invite the director of NCS Kochi, Commander Ravi Mishra, to present a memento to the chief guest commemorating this momentous occasion. We are immensely happy and incredibly privileged to host the dignitaries and delegates and look forward to the upcoming events. I would now like to call upon our school captain, Kirtana, to render the vote of thanks.
Gratitude turns what we have into enough. Honorable Chief Guest of the Day, Shri Totatalvi Radhakrishnan, former Chief Justice, Commodore G.A. Selvam, Vice Chairman, NCS Kochi, Commander Ravi Mishra, Director, NCS Kochi, Mr. Mudit Pathak, Guests of Honor, Principal, Vice Principals, Headmistress, esteemed dignitaries and delegates. On this auspicious occasion, I stand here with pride to express our sincere gratitude to each one of you present here. At the offset, I thank the Almighty for pouring His blessings on us. I consider it a great privilege to extend our warmest appreciation to everyone gathered here. Let me place on record our sincere gratitude to Sri T.B. Radhakrishnan, former Justice, for blessing us with esteemed presence today. Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. My sincere gratitude to Mr. Mudit Pathak, the guest of honor, for being a part of this momentous event. Let me express my honest gratitude to Commodore G.A. Selvam, Vice Chairman NCS Kochi, for his unstinted support and guidance. I also extend my deep thankfulness to Commander Ravi Mishra, Director NCS, for being a part of this significant event. My sincere regards to all the delegates and participating schools for joining us today in making this event a grand success. Heartfelt appreciation to Team NCS headed by the principal, vice principals, and headmistresses for their never ending support and guidance. Last but not the least, a big thank you to all the spectators for joining us today. As we come to the end of today's ceremonies, I, on behalf of Children's School, wish all the delegates good luck. We hope you have an enriching experience with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirtana. On that note of gratitude, let us now begin our MUN journey, filled with smooth diplomacy and rigorous debate. Wishing all delegates good luck and happy money. This is me, Steve Pence.
I'm Shreya Nair, signing off. See you at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
The delegates are now excused.